Hi everyone, Catherine here from Inky Fingered Cat. Yeah, Christmas layout scrapping well, this will go up in February. Obviously it's January when I'm filming it. I had left over from the last video actually, the last time I did scrapping, a 49th Market frame that's got two sections to it where I'd already affixed the photograph before realising it didn't go with the other photograph I was scrapping, and decided I didn't want to scrap this one then. And it was on the desk and I thought I'm going to do it, and because it's a picture of some hot chocolates at a visit to a winter market, I went, I'm just going to pull out some Christmas papers. And I started off with the one that's actually the back panel that you can only see a tiny bit of. And then I just pulled out other red themed, but they're sort of different tones of red, but other red themed papers. And then the panel that you can see there that I've just stuck down is like a vellum that's got a white print on it, and that was left over from that last page that I did. So I've just grabbed a whole load of bits and pieces that I did off camera before I started. So this video goes straight into me starting to stick things down. So you'll see there I grabbed a little piece of fabric as well because I wanted something a bit softer in there, and I have just torn the fabric. So I put a little nick in it and just torn it, and it's just a little square of fabric, and I'm just getting 3 different strips of it to go in the 3 sort of different clustery type areas. I've also got these Tim Holtz stickers I've had for donkey's years, and you can see I've used very few of them. They're sort of vintagey in style, and they're just little snippets, not even really sentiments. And I'm just pulling out things that I think will work with the photograph and putting them around the page in a couple of different places. So this takes a little bit of a while because you have to kind of read through them all and see which ones work. But I need to use more of those stickers up really, so that might make an appearance at some point in my Festive Friday post, either over on my blog or over here on YouTube. Not done a Festive Friday video for a little while, need to do one. Okay, the other thing you can see I'd already pulled out was those gingerbread men that are down at the bottom left hand side. They'll come in a minute, but I decided that I want to use the card candy that are like a spotty bronze kind of colour. So I've got 3 out for each cluster, so 9 in total. And now these little die cut gingerbread men obviously need to be brown because gingerbread men are not white, they are definitely brown. So I give them a quick colouring with a pro marker in, I think it was like a praline colour, but then I use my vintage photo and my blending brush just to add a little bit more depth to that colour and a bit of shading to them so they look like they might have been baked. This is a really simple page. I don't do a huge amount else to it, to be honest. The thing that takes the longest is probably the title, which takes a little while, and I'll explain why. I am going to just adhere these little gingerbread men in place first in my 3 little cluster areas, and then I'm going to make sure that those card candy go around those little areas too. Okay, so in my head, I had festive treats as my title for this page. So first of all, I went off and I die cut. You'll see this all in a minute. It'll take longer to talk about than it does to actually do on the video, I think. So yeah, I go and die cut the word festive using my Playful Alphabets dies out of a scrap of a dark red burgundy kind of colour. I do that, and the idea was to then go treats underneath that with some letter stickers. So go off and do the die cutting first, and I think, yeah, that's okay. Fortunately, I didn't stick them down to the page, because then when I went and found the right letter stickers, which I thought would work, which are sort of like a brown, thicker, couldn't do treats because there was no R. And it took me a little while of fiddling around in boxes and all the rest of it. To find those letter stickers because I hadn't got them out first. Now you can see I, for some reason, pulled out red, but that was not going to be the right red. That was far too bright a red. So I'm fiddling around in boxes off the screen, and now I've found my brown one. And at first I thought I was going to use these massive ones. They're not going to work. So then I'm thinking, oh, these ones will work. And then I realised there's no R. But I realised that there's enough letters to be able to spell the word festive. So, clearly, I've now die cut the word festive for no reason. I'll use it. I'll find a way of using it. And I'm using these letter stickers in order to do that. Little hint and tip here. If, when you're trying to line things up and you're struggling with it, sometimes turning it sideways really helps because you can kind of follow the line a little bit better. Or at least that my eyes can. Don't know why, but I can. So a little hint and tip sometimes when you're putting the letters on. Obviously, I could have just used the T ruler, that would also help. But no, this helped me kind of follow the letters going across and it just worked. But then, of course, I needed to come back and die cut the word treats. Obviously, I could have used some of the die cut letters I'd already die cut. I don't know why I didn't think of that, but I didn't. So I then had to die cut the word treats and then I could use this on to my page. So the page itself has got that 49th Market frame on it, which is quite a chunky chipboard. So I have them slightly hanging off. I wasn't sure about my placement at first, and it just required me to move one of those Tim Holtz stickers over to the other side, and then it worked. But yeah, I have them slightly hanging off, which just, I like the dimension on it. It works. Probably can't see it so much on the video, but I can see it in real life. And you might be thinking, Catherine, you've left that big old rectangle frame and you've put nothing in it. I had ummed and ahed at the very beginning before I probably put the video on as to what to do, but I'd already worked out, I know what to do. I'm going to put my journaling in there and make it into like a little journaling square. So I just cut some scrap white and now I'm going to do the journaling, which will then be slotted in and pop that into the frame with that little bit of the kind of the tartany plaid check kind of paper that's behind it, framing it. So doing my journaling in brown, just explaining this is it, we start our festive season with a trip to Bent's, which is the local garden centre that wins awards for its Christmas displays. We wander around the Christmas displays. They always have a winter market out in the conservatory area where they do things like bratwurst and crepe and stuff. And at this point we were having our hot chocolate. I don't think I took pictures of the bratwurst because I think we ate them far too quickly. So I was just explaining that in the journaling. So I'm really happy with this. And do you know what was really fun? I don't think I've scrapped with Christmas papers for years. In fact, I really don't remember the last time I scrapped with Christmas papers. And some of those Christmas papers are very old papers from the stash. Some of them were gifted, etc. So it's good to get them used. So yeah, it's January when I'm making this. It's February and I'm posting it. It's not really Christmas crafting time, but you know me, do it all year round. So I hope you like that. Please do subscribe to see more. But until next time, bye-bye.